Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I'm back to work in the Frost journal. I have done some prep on this page here, and I've been painting with the white, and I have it all over my hands. But anyways, let's see, what have I done? I think I did something without you guys. We put this page in. Oh, I added a little brad. It's a brad. And I put it through to this page and then added this number strip and this little snowflake just to, so you can't see the back part of the brad. Not that it would make that big of a difference. But anyways, it's a brad so that you can pop this way and then that way and then unfold it to write in it. Because it kept wanting to... I mean, it did okay under her sleeve, but I feel like it just needed a little something else. And then you put it back in the brad side first, and then under her little, why is it being weird now? Under her little muff thing here. Okay, just like that. All right, so that is how I fixed that so that it wouldn't be flopping around in there. I mean, once you have another page, it's probably fine, but that's what I did. And then today we're going to talk about this too, because I have had some questions on this. And this is a little pocket, and you fold it in half, you know, cut it out, fold it in half, cut out the little window. And then this is the tag that goes inside. And so I'm going to show you real quick. We're going to do something else with this in a minute, but I just want to give you an idea of like what I did. So I cut it out entirely. I cut out the part that says Crafty Cat on there in frost. And then I took a piece of that, oh, what is that stuff called? It's that paper, like mulberry type paper in there. And I put that on first. Then I put down some snowflakes. And I actually ended up gluing them onto this plastic. So then I took a piece of packaging acetate, and you could just do the acetate. You don't have to have the mulberry paper. I'm just letting you know what I did. So I glued the snowflakes to the acetate. And then that way it kind of looks frosty, and you can kind of see the snowflakes through there. And then what we're going to do is close this up. And then the tag that goes with it, I went ahead and just put some netting, snowflake, one of my words, another snowflake there, some fabric stitched up at the top up there. I did back it with some, I think that's tea-dyed paper. But anyways, I did cut the sides down a little bit because I don't know what I was thinking. I thought I just did such a cool thing, but it is the same width as the pocket. So in order to slide it in and out, we're going to we're going to wrap some of that like handmade paper around here, and then you can just glue the bottom, and then you can tuck it in there. And you can see I did ink it around here just because, you know, you can see the white in there, and I didn't want to. So anyways, that will go in there, and we're going to do something else with that. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you that's what those are. They're just a little tag pocket, basically. So got that gesso everywhere. So what we're going to do with this side of this is this, I added this. That's what I did. I put just this piece of ephemera. I glued it to this side and then put the brown paper over it. So the little tab that hooks this to this page is underneath that brown paper, so you don't even see it. But anyway, I made this, I think, for one of my 50 stack challenges, and then there's something in here as well. Maybe. And then this I left so that you could add a photograph of your own here, right there. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the tree as it is. So we're gonna work on this side. And I have a piece of paper ready to go here. I did a lot of prep stuff, but I probably still will, of course, have things that I forgot to do. And, you know, because that's how I roll. But I did try to prep today. Some days I manage that. Well, these require a lot of prep before I can even start, because it is, oh, that was the other question I had. What is it? It's a board book, a children's board book. And so So this is one of the original pages. It does have gesso over the top of it now, but you can kind of see the little bug on there and it says B. You know, it's just a children's board book. I took the spine off of it and I'm putting it back together using the fabric tabs, wherever they are, right here. So those are all what's holding the book together now because I took the spine away. The reason I took the spine away is because you can see already you get gaps when you add ephemera, right? Because it adds bulk to your pages. Unless you're just doing super flat. Like this is probably the best page for the super flat. But then, you know, I can't ever help myself and it starts to get fat. So that is what the base is. Then I put this packing paper over the top just to completely cover up, like especially if you had one of the bright, colorful children's board books, you might really want to do something like this. And then I like to add the gesso just to give it that frosty look, but you can still see a little bit of that brown paper. And I did cut it flush where the spine is, and then I tore around the edge so there's some extra paper there. I do have a playlist for this journal, so you can watch it from the beginning if you're interested. So yeah, that is what we have happening today. I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing well. Got just kind of weird weather. I just really have not had, I shouldn't say anything because we'll get slammed, but it's supposed to be sunny all next week too. We just haven't had winter to speak of here. It's very odd. So yeah, very strange weather indeed. Okay, so this is a piece of that original and it's got paint on it, gesso, the paper that I did for the cover, and I showed how I did that and everything. So it's a collage with this thin paper over the top, and it's done on deli paper, but it's all collaged with my snowflakes and like math type papers and, you know, all the stuff that we normally collage with in neutral colors. I have to have a sip of coffee. I needed a cup of coffee this afternoon for some reason. This is one of those type of mulberry papers. This one's a little bit more opaque. So just different types of handmade papers with the fibers in them are kind of cool for the wintry feel, if you like that look. I need to say a huge super thank you to Tamara. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate your kindness and generosity. Really appreciate it, Tamara, so thank you. A super thanks is kind of like giving me a tip if you're wondering what in the world I'm talking about. So thank you for that. And then I want to say hugs and blessings to Annette, Sue, Ellie, Harriet, and Diane, and Diana. I have a Diane and a Diana, so thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are awesome. Always leave kind, lovely comments, and I so appreciate all of you and your kind comments. I really, really do, so thank you. And any activity that you do on my channel, you know, liking, subscribing, commenting to each other, whatever, that all helps the channel grow, because that tells YouTube that people are liking it, and so then it suggests it to other people in their feeds. So it just helps. So I appreciate you guys very much. And if you can hype it, hype it. I know it doesn't show up every time and everybody has a different take on it. Because some people are like, yeah, it's there every time. And then other people are like, no, it's not there. And I have had the same problem because I've tried to hype my friends. And I keep trying to hype Nancy and nothing. So it's never there when... And I know where to look because I have done it for Mitzi. So it's not like I just don't know what I'm doing. Well, I mean, that is possible. That's always possible. But it's not just me, I don't think. And I'm not sure why that is. But anyways, if you see it and you want to hype it, I would appreciate it. User error is always possible for me, for sure. Especially when it comes to technology. Oh my word. My poor son some days. I get a hold of him. He's my IT man. I'm sure he wishes that wasn't his job. But anyway, yeah, and he's just like, Mom. Mom. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't understand this stuff. And I really try. I mean, I have come leaps and bounds since I started doing this job 7 years ago. And let me tell you, I didn't even use the internet before that, hardly. I mean, like I knew how to search for something or whatever, but for the most part, I wasn't on it. I was raising kids. I just didn't have any interest in it. And yeah. So anyways, but I have gotten far better than I was, but there are still days when it's just more than I can even comprehend. So this is our little plaster piece that we did, I think yesterday. Finished those up. So that's that one. I'm going to use it right here as a little tuck pocket. And I'm using this mess of lace, fabric, string, doily to put here. And these papers are the Frost papers from my digital download, Frost. If you're wondering, if you haven't seen. And welcome if you're a new subscriber. And welcome back if you're one of my continuing subscribers or people who follow me regularly. I so appreciate you. You guys are the best. Okay. We're just going to put a little snowflake there. And yes, there is not tons of writing space in this journal. You are 100% correct. I mean, there's tags and things, so it's not devoid of it, but I do think you could put some photographs for sure in spots. But it's really more of an art journal, you know, honestly. It's just more for art than writing, or more for looking at than writing in. But feel free. This one, I believe Tamara wants this one. She's next on my list. And so feel free to write or pictures or whatever you like in it. That is what they're for. That one's still a little wet right there. I just added a little bit of gesso right before I turned on the video, so I'm not going to press too hard on that. And then we're just going to put this, there's this little spot right there, and I just want it on around that picture, so I don't want to lose the picture, you know. But I am going to glue this down entirely, so you'll just be able to tuck it like a tag back there is all. It's not going to hold mass quantities of anything. But it'll hold a little tag and maybe a photograph or something that's special. And I know I'm trying to get this one done so I can move on to the next one. I'm really trying to get going again so that the holidays really messed all that up. So I know there's people that have been waiting and waiting for journals. And I know it's just me. I'm the only one making them here at this channel anyway. But I thank you for your patience. It is not a fast process by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, so then in that pocket, I have a tag. I didn't really plan what I was going to put on it. It's one of my paint swatches. This is from my paint swatches digital. I backed it with the same brown packing paper and put the white paint around it. I don't know if I want anything on it. or not. I'm kind of thinking probably not. I might put a snowflake. Like one of these cool ones would be fun. And these are in my Etsy shop. That's too big. These littler ones that look like that are in my snow or Let It Snow set of these. I might just do that. And the Let It Snow has the snowmen. I want a snowman. He covers up too much. I'm just going to go with the snowflakes. I know I've done just loads of snowflakes, but I do like them. They are kind of fun to use for sure. So what kind of stuff are you guys up to in the new year? Anything fun? Got plans to go anywhere coming up, like in the spring or anything? We got my son's graduation coming up in the spring. Well, it'll be closer to summer, but why is it stuck to my... He's graduating from college. Woohoo! And then I've got 2 kids through college and I'm done. Well, you're never really done, I know, but we're done with the school aspect of raising kids. And they can pay more of their own bills. They actually pay most of their own bills anyway, because we just can't afford that. But like right now, we're paying for my son's car because he can't afford it, because he's just going to school and working. All he can afford is his rent and food. But once he has a job, my daughter pays. She's through college and she's got a job now. Yay! So she pays for all her own stuff. It's best for them to have skin in the game anyways, I think. So, it's good. It's good, it's good. All right, so that will go in here. I should probably let it dry, but we're just gonna get an idea. I'll stitch around it, probably put some fabric up there too. So that's another page. I really love this plaster thing. I think that's super fun. I think for a board book, you could just do the pages like that. You wouldn't even have to, now if you're going on paper, I would definitely just do some little, you know, kind of like these little clustery type things. But if you got a board book, you could just slap that stuff right on the pages, I feel like, and it would end up being pretty cool. Okay, so this is the flat edge. It needs to go this way. And this one, we're going to do something with, I don't know. I'm trying to decide with this if I want to attach it to the page, or do I want to have it hinged? That is what the decision is. Well, let's get this closed up first, and then we can figure that out. So the bottom I'm just going to glue, because that's not a big deal. The side I am going to put some of that other paper almost like giving it a gusset just so that I know for sure. I mean, the tag is smaller now that I trimmed down the sides. I don't know what I was thinking when I made that. But, I think it'll just be a good way to do it. Give it a little bit of a gusset. It's kind of a good thing to always do. And I don't do it very often, but like I see Collage, she always makes gussets for her pockets and things. It's very smart because then you don't have to worry about things getting caught up or anything. So I'm going to use some of this to do that with. And it'd probably be best to use water, but I don't think there's any water in my water. Oh, this one will probably work. This stuff is notorious for ripping crooked. My word. Those are the strongest lids ever on these Arteza water pens. But if you put a little water, it'll tear a lot easier. Because it's got the fibers, so it doesn't ever want to tear anywhere near straight. I always have sticky fingers and do this and then creep myself out. I don't know why. Texture. That's why. So we'll just put a little bit of this and go around to the back. I don't need all of this, but this is a lot like, oh, what's that stuff called? Rice paper and all those napkins and stuff like that. That's what this is very much like. So it works a lot better if you do that with it first. Figure out our length. Okay. So I think what I should do is just put the glue on here and then put it on to that. I think it'll work just fine. Just fine. Yeah, these board books could become very addicting, I feel like. They're just really fun, and you don't have to mess around with signatures and blah, 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 blah. I think our next one's going to be like packing paper, brown paper bag, but I also have another idea, and maybe I'll let you guys vote on it to see what you think. I'll show you just a second. Let me get this. So now this will be all closed up, but the tag will fit a little bit better in there, in and out of there. And plus it gives it that icy look over there, which is kind of nice. So now when we put our tag inside, you'll be able to sort of see the flower through. That was the whole point of making it in the first place, was so you can kind of see that icy blue flower in there. And then I put frost on the tag so you can see that too. And it sticks up a little because I glued the bottom. If I'd have gone around the bottom, but it's okay. It doesn't matter if it sticks out a little bit, I think. Then you can get a hold of it easier. Okay, let's ink our gentleman. He's out in the snow apparently. He's all covered in it. It's not going to matter. I was sitting here thinking, oh, I don't want to put glue because it'll go through that paper, but there's plastic on the back of that paper, so it's not going to get on my tag. That's the advantage of putting the plastic back there. Plus, it gives a good spot for the snowflakes in between those two. And then your tag's not catching your snowflakes and all that jazz. All the jazz, you know. Okay. There he is. And then we're gonna, show you what I was thinking to do next. So it's either packing paper or I can do another calendar journal. This one would be entirely different than the calendar journal I did last January. This is a calendar, I think Rhonda, did you give this to me? Anyway, I'm pretty sure, so thank you. This is the cover of the original one. And I'm going to turn that into a pocket. And then you can see some of these pages are shorter, longer, shorter. This one's folded, you know, that kind of thing. Or we can do packing paper. So this is the tall, skinny. And I guess I should ask Marcia, or I keep doing that, Marcia. I'm so sorry. It's Marcia. It's spelled that way, and in my brain I just say it. Marcia, you're next. So I guess you would be the biggest vote. You have the most vote. So this type of journal made out of an old calendar or packing paper. That's what I'm thinking right now. Okay, so now we need to back this somehow. Put that in there now. It'll be fine. Oh, I got those old pictures. Those are fun. Fun. I could use one of these. This is the snowflake. These are from the, maybe I will make it a flip out. That way you could actually write on here. This is from the background papers, frost background papers. That's what that is. He looks quite good on there. Let's try this side first. I think I want, sorry, you know, old brain can't decide what in the world it wants to do from one second to the next. I don't want a perfect tear. Yeah, I thought we were going to get snow this week, but apparently not. We're just getting clouds until Friday and then the sun. So, I know, I don't like snow, and here I am talking about that, but it's just weird. Because if nothing else, we get an inversion and then we get frost, which I do love. Because I love to take pictures of it. I'm sure you're shocked. But anyways, I just don't like shoveling snow and driving in snow. That's what I don't like about it. Other than that, it's beautiful. It's just a pain in the rump. But I'm just shocked because we don't normally it snows. And a lot. So it's weird. It's a very weird winter. They said it's the warmest winter in something like 200 years or something here. I'm like, whoa. And like just a couple years ago, we had what we called Snowmageddon because it was insane the amount of snow we got that year. I mean, insane. So, yeah, weird. I feel like this needs to be torn a little more. I was just trying not to tear too much off of my snowflake, but I need more jaggedy edge. We'll just come up close to this and kind of do that. Yeah, I don't want Snowmageddon again. You can have that one. That one was not fun. But a little bit. Yeah, the kids and I would just, we had a few elderly neighbors at that time. We don't now, but the kids and I just spent the whole winter helping people dig out. Because they weren't in school because of the snow. Well, part of it they did go. But yeah, it's crazy. Part of it they were on their winter break, but I know, blah blah, nobody cares. Just me blabbing over here. Don't mind me. That's what I do when I'm doing this. Okay, I think that'll work pretty good. That will work. Now the trick is to get the other side with glue and not glue it to the page. Kind of wish there was something like a glue stick because I do like it better than the liquid glue because it goes all over rather than like lines of glue. But I do wish there was a better way to go about it. I know you can like put it on and then use a liquid glue around the edges so you use less glue pages. That's just yet another step in the plethora of journal steps. Let's use this one. And there are a plethora of them. For sure. Yeah, I like those backing pages because you can definitely write on that. You could even probably write over that snowflake if you had a black pen. Okay, so we're going to hinge him. Him being him. And I'm thinking maybe some of this ticking would work. I mean, I could do paper, but I'm thinking I want to do something other than paper. Yeesh. Some bits there. Okay, now I have to decide, do I want, I think I want it on this side. So I can do one of two things. I can put it on and go around. I don't think it's going to go around the page. That is not big enough. Or I can put it on and just have it hook right onto the page. And then it'll just flip. Flippity-doo-dah. It doesn't have to be the exact same length. It doesn't matter as long as you have a way to stick it down, basically. It doesn't weigh a lot. It's not a big, heavy piece, so I'm not that worried about it. But I think I will use Let's use that one. That one's brand new full, so I'm scared of it. Because it's got a lot of glue coming out fast. Lots of glue. Yep, that's gonna work. I think I will use, let's ink the back of this a little more. And the same with this, you could write on it or put a photograph on the back of that. I'm gonna use this for this just because I wanna make sure that sticks. I'm gonna try to go, I'm not even squeezing it because it comes out real fast when you got a brand new one. I really like that PVC glue. I will say, to me, it's not different than art glitter glue. It just might take a tiny bit longer to dry, but for what I like to do, I don't have a problem with that, because sometimes, like I said, I felt like art glitter glue was almost too fast sometimes, and you're like, I need to move that, and I can't move it. But that's just my take on it. Glue is one of those things you have to try for yourself and decide what works best for you. Because let's face it, it just, you either like it or you don't. It's that simple. Like a lot of things you could go either way on, but glue tends to be one of those things that's like, I like it, I don't like it at all. So at least that's what I find. Because I am not a fan of oohoo, yoo-hoo. And I know everybody else loves it. So yeah, like totally use it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Don't like it. And then, of course, my weirdo thing with, what's that stuff? Fabri-Tac. I just can't touch that stuff. It gives me the ick when it's on my hands. It's bad enough when I have regular glue on my hands, but that stuff sends me over the edge. That, again, is a me thing. That's why I say you gotta use what you like. Oops. I want it that way. I don't know, just some little Tim Holtz bits there. And then those tabs are gonna end up coming over that somewhere. Speaking of tabs, we can put this one onto the journal. Still getting glue all over myself, or paint, gesso, whatever that stuff's called. So we did 3, so this one's going to be 2 to attach this one on. 2 tabs. It gets harder and harder as it stacks upon itself. So we've got this page that we just did, and I think we have the one more, which is the backing page. It's a total of 7. One of you asked me about that. 7 is what it, but I just did the amount of pages that were in the children's book. So, but when you do yours, if you want to do like, I would say 5 or 6 would probably definitely, you know, you at least want that many. Beyond that, it's totally up to you. But yeah, the more you get, the harder they are to deal with, basically. So we got, oh, did I have, oh, there's 2 pieces. Nice. Again, I am using a dish towel, like not a used dish towel. I just bought a stack of those when I first started doing journals. Where did that go? Don't know. And I use it randomly for different stuff. So is that right? Yes. front of the first top page, back of the bottom page, or, you know, the next one in order. And then you just try to kind of line it up with the other tabs as much as possible. It, you know, doesn't have to be like exact. And you can cut off extra if you decide. Oh my gosh, I lost one of those hinges already. Oh, there it is. I dropped it on the floor. I'm gonna have to move this crispy lace. It's crispy because it's got paint on it. If you're wondering why it's crispy. I'm gonna take this out before I end up gluing it to the page or something grand. And then if you're making one, I would let that dry and then do the other side, only because that way you won't be pulling it off. But since I'm doing this with you guys, and you won't glue it to the other side, which is another problem. So front of that page, back of this page is how that works. And then lining it up, of course, is another important key factor that you want to take into account. And you don't want to squish it too much. You don't want to yank these too tight. You just want to fold them over, you know, a little taut. But because that'll just give you a gator mouth. So. I mean, you don't want them bagging, but. Then after they dry, I'll, what do you call it? Trim them. And probably put a little gesso on them. That'll just give them a little extra hold, because I did put them on the outside, which I know to some people's consternation I did that, but that's how I wanted to do it. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So that's how you do it. And then the next one will have 3. So I'm sure you guys get it now, but I just want to make sure I'm telling everybody the right thing. Go a little tighter. And you will notice these are very close together. That's because, like I mentioned in the beginning, those pages don't have thick ephemera, so they don't need as much gap. This one has, especially that top one, because there's a big wide piece of ephemera in there, and that's why I did the hinges last instead of first. All right, so I think we'll stop there because that's got to dry and all that jazz. But we can take a peek. I think just not going to yank on that. So today we did, not this page, we did this page. Okay, so we didn't even have to do that. We did this page with this, using our little plastered pocket there. You could also, if you didn't want, like if you make some of these clustery things and you don't want it directly on your page, as I mentioned yesterday, you could put a different pocket here and use it as a decoration too, but I think that worked fine. And then we have our little tag pocket that's in the kit on that page, and this one will go this away. So when you see these two pages together, this is what they're going to look like. I really like that ticking. That ended up being good. So yeah, that's where we're at. I hope you guys like it. So we have basically the back of this page, and then the 2 next pages. One of them is going to be the back cover, so I probably won't like do anything dimensional on that. It'll just be a flat something. So really just this one and one other decorative page, and this little sucker will be done. So yay. But I mean, it has just been a lot of fun to play with. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll chat again soon. Love ya. Bye.